Oops. Okay, so the first point to pay attention to when you're looking at your size is, does your band ride up your back? So do you ever see your band riding up your back or digging into your ribs? Also, you want your wire to go behind your breast tissue and be sitting directly on your rib cage. So you should be able to push in right now and feel your wire. And if you feel any breast tissue when you push on your wire, then it needs to go back some more and then go into another size. And I use a finger length. So for every finger length back is one size. But first start with your band. Okay, so your band is very important. So your band is going to be your rib cage, and then your cup, the ABCD, is going to be like the ratio. So whatever, how far out your chest comes, your breasts come from your chest, okay? And so I know you see like a lot of people using measuring tape and doing all kind of fun stuff with it when it comes to measuring and everything, but it's really just a starting place. So when you're looking for a bra, you want one that's gonna fit snug on your ribs and not be moving around up and down in any direction. Also, you don't want your straps to dig into you. So you want them to be in place. You don't want to feel your bra all day. So if you're feeling your bra, if your straps are digging in, or if they're falling off your shoulders, you're on the wrong size. So if they're falling off your shoulders, that actually means that your bra is too big, or that you're not securing it properly. You also want to make sure that you're securing your bra and have 2 fingers length through, right through here, so where it's comfortable, and you also want 2 fingers in the band. So when you're starting out, you're going to want to take your measuring tape. This is just going to be a starting place. Just because you measure it doesn't mean that's your band size, okay? So I thought I was going to have a mannequin, but I don't. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you on me. And so you're going to go right through here, pull the band around, pull the tape around, put it right in the middle of your back where your bra goes, where your bra closes at, and then you're going to come around to the front, across your chest, above your breast, on your chest, and pull tight. So, let's see. All right, so you're gonna pull tight right through here, okay? Let's see, let me get a good. All right, and that's how you measure yourself. So mine is at 33. So depending on, so it's 32, 34, right? So you're gonna want to, usually we would go down 1, but we could also go up 1. So that's why we say it's a starting point, right? So the next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna have to go try on bras when you do this, just to get the right size. So you're gonna need to be somewhere. I used to work at Dillard's. They do help you at Dillard's. I don't know if everybody has a Dillard's though. I know they are very limited, but you can also go to Macy's. Macy's has a really good selection of good brand bras. Just any department store where you could try them on at. And I can list y'all some good brands as well that I used to work with. They're worth the extra few dollars, I'll tell you that. I also worked at Victoria's Secret when I was first starting, and I learned that the way they fit, they're going to put a bra too tight on you, and this is their code. Like, this is what they teach us. They teach you to tell people to put the bra on the tightest hook, but in reality, your bra wants to be on the loosest hook, or the second one, depending on, like, if you're a 33 like me, you're going to be in between. So they have you at Victoria's Secret wearing them too tight and they stretch out faster. So just be mindful of who's measuring you and what feels comfortable to you. Okay, so when you go try them on, you're going to be looking for 5 points of fit. So this is maybe, what? I don't know. He's asking for a hat. He has this little fedora he likes to wear. So this is maybe where you want to just pull out your notebook and write down some notes. I'm going to write them down as I go so I don't forget any. So there's 5 points of fit, and this is where you want to pay attention to and make sure you have all 5, because when you have all 5, you have a perfect fit, okay? Oh, also, if you wanted to get a starting place on your breast, so if you, I'm still thinking about it. So if you go from 33, you hold it loose in front of you, directly in front of the fullness of your breast, and then if it says like here 36-ish, so you're going to count from 32. Okay, so if you decide to go on the 32 bra, that's 4 inches away, so that's A, B, C, D. Okay, so of course if you're wearing a sports bra or a minimizer, when you're doing this measurement, it's not going to be accurate because sports bras and minimizers are going to pull you up and in, and that's going to keep you from getting, an accurate measurement when you're measuring yourself. So that's why it's really good to always go try them on. All right, so I hope y'all have y'all's paper ready, and we're going to start with the first one. So the first point of fit is going to be 2 fingers in your band. Okay, so if you could take 2 fingers and turn it in your band comfortably to where it's not too tight on your skin, then that's perfect. And also on your straps. So I wish I had a mannequin to show you. I'm not going to show you, but you just hold your band and you turn your hand 2 fingers to see if it has a comfortable fit. And that's also going to be on your straps too. Just 2 to make sure that you have a comfortable fit. If it's too loose and you have a good band, tighten up your straps because they are adjustable. They're not going to fit on the loosest one. They're going to be, customizable for you. The next one is when you lift your arms up, does your breast come from underneath your bra? So if it's coming underneath, you're going to need a bigger wire, longer wire. The next one is going to be making sure that your wire comes back behind your breast tissue and is sitting directly on your rib cage. So if you push into your wire on the side or in the front and you feel breast tissue, and it feels a little sensitive, then you need to go back a wire. All right, so next you want to make sure that your band is parallel to the floor. So your band is going to be in the back. So you want to make sure it's parallel to the floor, straight across. No ups, downs, anything, straight across. So horizontal. And then I'll leave this in the notes after the event. So it's still going to be on the events page. And then I'm going to put all the notes for all the types of fit on there. And then the last one is that you want to have your wire flat on your chest in the middle. Okay, so you don't want any bulging wires, any moving wires, no breast tissue bulging out the front. You want it to all be smooth and flat. All right, so when you have all 5, it's not 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, it's all 5. So when you have all 5, you're in a perfect fit, okay? So let's talk about different shapes. So we're all different shapes. Okay, so when you look at it, the easiest way to determine is, are you a square, a circle, or a triangle? So triangle is going to be flatter on the top, heavier on the bottom. Circle is going to be pretty much all the way around. Square is going to be a little bit more spread out side to side. Okay, so with that being said, you're going to want a wire to match that. Okay, so it's called full, average, or shallow. So those are the correct terms for it. So full, average, or shallow. So you'll be able to look at yourself and determine this. I think you have one right here on the couch. Come look on the couch. All right, so when you're full, you're gonna want that wire to come up. Okay, so even if you're in an A cup or a B cup, you can still have full. So these shapes have nothing to do with the sizing. So these are a whole separate category. Now you're going to get into what shape of bra is gonna fit me the best. Okay, so full, you're gonna want that wire to come all the way up and in the middle, okay? If you have a gap in between your breasts, you're gonna look for a spacer. So a spacer is going to look, I know I'm on lined paper. Oh, I can use this blank paper so you can see. All right, so say we have our bra here. All right, I'm just gonna draw the wires. So picture the wires. So these wires have a space in between them, while some bras are going to come together in the middle, right? So when you feel the wire and see if there's a gap in between it. And if you have a gap in between your breasts, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have a little bit of a gap in your wire. So you're more comfortable when you lift your arms up, you don't have all this going on. And if you don't have a gap, of course, you're gonna want the wire that meets in the middle, okay? So this wire is gonna be a little separated. This wire is gonna meet in the middle, okay? So this is for if your breasts are separated or not, okay? So, and that's called a spacer. A lot of people who work with bras are gonna know that you need a spacer. So if you say, I need a spacer in my bras, they're gonna be like, yes, perfect, we have one for you, okay? All right, so average, so those you're not gonna want the wire that comes all the way up here, okay? You're gonna want the more of the average wire. So that, if I had to give you like a length comparison of the three. What, baby? It's so hard without me having like bras to show y'all. So every time I've ever given a demonstration, I've always had like bras to show people. So I'm like, let me draw this somehow. Yeah, so when you look at it, if you hold two of the same size side by side, and if one comes up higher, that's going to be for full. If it comes up in the middle, it's going to be for average. Now for shallow cups have a different shape to them. They're going to have like a teardrop shape to them. So when you get the bra, it's going to hug the top of you right here where you're shallow at the top, and then it holds on to the bottom, and it also has a little bit of less wire, or it also has a spacer if you have a space in between. So he found his hat. Say hello.
Hello.
So you're just going to want to look for the shape. Of course, when you're looking for cups, you're going to want to fill in the full cup. We've had people that are super full, so sometimes the only thing that works is going to be a sports bra if you want that full coverage. The average coverage is going to cut off at like a square point. That way you still have like a little bit on the side to come in and up for you, so everything's smooth, because that's one of our points of fit, is to make sure the wire is smooth, the bra is smooth. We want everything smooth. Okay, and can we have 2 minutes and I can play, okay? Okay. You could pedal for now. Pedal. Okay, I'll come help you in 2 minutes. Okay? Right. Hold on. Alright, so that I think I was still talking about shallow just a little bit. Also, when you get into a shallow bra, you can tighten the straps to make it smooth. So just make sure that everything's smooth. You're going by the shape of the wire, like, you know, memorizing the shape of your breast, and then when you go into the store, look at the different shapes of the wire and see which one's going to go best for you, because it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. Okay, so I am going to name a couple of brands that I used to work with. These are going to be found at Macy's and Dillard's. I don't know about the other stores, but these are very popular brands. So there are going to be one of each shape for each brand, but for full, you're going to want to do Wacoal, W-A-C-O-A-L. Wacoal is really good for full. They also have really good sports bras for full. Full coverage, like we've had ladies in G's, H's, they'll put on one of these Wacoal bras, these full coverage sports bras, go do the jump test, and nothing moves, okay? Nothing moves. So that's a good one. Also, Natori is known for their sports bras for full, but Natori is a shallow brand. So for shallow breast, you're going to want to do Natori. N-A-T-O-R-I. I love Natori, if that tells you anything about my shape, but it's really good, okay? Especially when you're an oddball like me, who's not only shallow but also has a spacer. So it's like, what's gonna fit me? You know, I never had a bra fit until I learned about the true fits, because like I'm an oddball, you know. So Natori is really good for that. Also, average, Wacoal has a lot of good average bras. It is going to be mostly focused on unlined. Wacoal has a lot of unlined. That's going to be no padding, no lining, no padding, just material to your skin. But they're really good at concealing. Okay, so you know what I mean. They're really good. They're really good with those materials. They're good at making sure everything stays concealed and where it needs to be. Okay, so another, a really good average one is also going to be Chantel. So that's going to be C-H-A-N-T-E-L-L-E. Chantel, it's going to be a French brand. And in that brand, you're going to have to use the metric system. I think they do have conversions, but when you get to D, double D, triple D, they only do D, E, or F. So if you measure yourself at 5 inches away from your chest, you're getting into a double D. So if you're 32, but if you go around, hold on, I'll have to use my counting eyes, because I'm not thinking right now. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. Okay, so if you're 37 away, if I'm not mistaken, that's gonna be 5 away. Yes, of course. Okay, sorry, I couldn't math for a second. So if you're 37 away, that's gonna be a double D. And if you're 38 away from your 32, even though you're little, like you're small around and everything, you can very well still be in like a 32G or something like that. So that's why you wanna make sure that that band is doing well and doing what it's supposed to for you. So when you get to Chantel or you get to any European brands, like Simone Perel or, I think most brands do convert for us. You're gonna do D, E, or F. So 4 inches away is going to be a D, 5 inches away is going to be an E, or triple D, 6 inches away is going to be an F. So in United States, we use D, double D, triple D. In other countries, we do D, E, F. It's the same thing. So if a fitter tells you you're a triple D/F, it's the same thing. It doesn't mean you go up and down or anything like that, but you will go up and down depending on what you have to use. So I'm going to talk about sister sizes right before we leave, okay? So another brand that I've worked with, those are my 3 favorites, just because they're pretty well known, pretty popular. Spanx is a good brand if you like some padding, you like some coverage, you like a little push-up. Spanx is a good brand for that. They have those front closure bras as well if you prefer front closure, like if you have anything like any shoulder surgeries or anything like that. Spanx has some front closures, but just keep in mind that if you are this front closure, if you're this, front closures always have a spacer because the closure is the spacer. So if your breasts are touching and you're putting on a front closure and you're wondering why it's not fitting like every other bra fits, that's why it's adding a spacer. So if you don't have the space in between, it might be a little uncomfortable. You might have to play with the sides a little bit, but I have seen it work in cases when people really need that front closure. Okay, Wacoal also has a front closure to where it's not too much of a spacer and it still fits really well. But these front closures aren't popular. They're not popularly made. They're popularly requested, but they're not made. Just because, you know, when you have big brands like this, it takes away the credibility of their name. You know, because like everything's supposed to fit, but then you get this oddball, which is the front closure, and it's taken away from the support that the back gives you, and it's coming in the front. Also, back smoothing bras. So you're going to look for that wide band. So usually when you put yourself in the right size, it's going to smooth out everything in your back. Just because most brands are going to make that bra for that coverage. Because ladies, we know we want the coverage. We don't want anything popping, sticking out anywhere. We want it all smooth. So don't be overly concerned about what it's going to do for you until you get into the right size, okay? Because we've seen a lot of times people are like, oh, I need a back smoothing bra. They come in, we do a fitting on them, get them in the right size, get them in the right cup, and then they don't need a back smoothing bra anymore. You know, like we still bring them one, we still offer it to them, but at that point, like it's fitting well enough to where it's like, hey, I didn't know I could wear like a thinner band, you know, without everything bulging out. So that's like the great part of being able to get your own size. I did promise to play with him, so I'm going to get into sister sizes. Sister sizes are very easy. It just takes a little bit of conversion. So if you want to get your pen and paper out, are you okay? You need to be careful, okay? All right, so here's my little notepad. Y'all are welcome to screenshot this if it's not reversed. I was just taking notes to keep up with what I told you all. I know it's a little vague. It's just making sure I stay on track. But look down here. Now, so if you're a 34C and they don't have your size, but you love this bra, or if you're feeling like a little bit like, so in another brand, they make it a little bit tighter than what you're used to, okay? Go up a number, so up a band, down a cup, okay? Those are sister sizes. So when you are a 34C, go up a band, which is gonna go up to 36, and go down a cup, which is gonna go down to B. Okay, that's a sister size. Also, on the flip side, if you put on the 34 and it's too loose, okay, go down a band and up a cup. So from 34, you're gonna go down to 32 and up to a D, okay? So it's pretty simple conversion. Down a band, up a cup, up a band, down a cup. Those are sister sizes, okay? Yeah. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions? I know my comments don't always work, but if anybody has any questions, I'm very open to answering them. Just keep in mind, I'm going to put all these notes in under the event, and then I'm also going to share it from my Lunar Queen page. And you know what? I might post this on YouTube, even though there's a couple of even though a couple of interruptions. I'm probably still maybe going to post this on YouTube just because it's valuable information, and I feel like we all should know this. Also, I'm going to be doing this again. I'm probably going to do 3 more rounds of this, just the same exact thing, just directed to the people who need to hear it. I'm thinking once a month maybe. So if you know anybody who wants to meet up with me live and would like to get this information, I'm more than happy to. Hopefully by then I should have I plan to get a couple of display bras and just a mannequin bust form, so I can better explain it to you all. Sorry, I try to listen to him and talk at the same time, so it's making me stutter a little bit. So I hope y'all can hear through that. But yeah, so hopefully I'll have like a little bust form, put a little bra on it for us so we can kind of see the points of fit and get a good idea of what I'm talking about with the wire and everything. So I plan to do that once a month. So if you'd like to bring a friend or anybody who might need to hear this or would like to share the information with anybody, I'm more than happy to do this over and over, answer as many questions as you have, because I'm really passionate about this. I believe that every lady should know how to measure themselves and not have to rely on a store or going back and return. You know, just being confident that we have the first bra on the first try. But do make sure you try them on. It's very, very important to try them on before you buy them, just because it's not a one size fits all. So you could say this is my size, but if you have a different cup, you know. So, all right. Does anybody have any questions? Son, you gotta be more careful. What's on your shirt? Huh? Was your bike wet?
Yes, kind of wet.
Okay, baby. We'll have to change your Come here. Let mommy take your shirt off. Hands up. There you go. It's all wet.
Wet?
Yeah. Pick your bike up. There you go. Be careful. Okay. So hopefully nobody has any questions. Thank you all for joining. If you do have any questions after the fact, just reach out to me in a private message, you know, so we can talk. If you have any questions ever, just let me know. Like I said, I've been doing this I was doing this for quite some time before I branched off and became self-employed. So I do have quite a bit of experience, more than 500 fits, and also I was top in the region for 21 or 22 consecutive months. So yeah, I'm more than happy to help. You don't have to feel uncomfortable to ask me questions, because I promise you I've seen and heard a lot of things. So there's nothing that you could say to me that's going to stand out or anything that you should be embarrassed about. I don't know where your hat went. Oh, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, guys. Thank you all for joining. Happy full moon. I hope to connect with y'all soon. And see you later. Bye.